What's going on, guys, and welcome to Rat Pack's Wax. Today we're going to be opening a box of 1987 Topps, one of the most iconic junk wax era years. It's got the Bo Jackson Future Stars card in it. It's got the Barry Bonds rookie, the Mark McGwire rookie, and the Jose Canseco Gold Cup, along with a couple errors. So we're not going to waste any time. We're just going to jump right into it. Start ripping some wax. Sacrificing Gary Gaddy to the gum gods. Never understood why they didn't put those pieces of gum in a little sleeve of plastic or something. I guess they weren't thinking that these things were going to be collected the way that they were or are. Floyd Bannister, Will Clark, Cal Ripken. It's a good looking card right there. It's pretty well centered. We'll get into that later in future videos, centering and expectations of grading. And these cards, even though they're packed fresh and have been sitting in this box for years, still very hard to get a 10 on these older cards. A lot more goes into it than just centering and corners and edges. That's surface condition, and a lot of times these cards that came with gum in the box or in the packs, like Lega, it would put a ripple in the card. There's ways to flatten them. Get the All-Star series here. Gary Carter. Then you get like weird little print dots and stuff in them. It looks like oil stains and stuff. Bonilla, McNamara, Moore. Fish eyes. That's a big problem with these cards. You get those a lot. Little print dots in them. They call those fish eyes. Bobby Valentine. Mahler, Ron Robinson, Bill Russell, wrong Bill Russell, Paul Molitor, the Hall of Famer right there. He's signing at the National this year. This card's really well centered, top to bottom and left to right. Not really any ripples or dents or dings in it. It's a good looking card. Oop, that one's ruined. Sammy Stewart. What do we have down here? Rob Wilfong. I don't think we're missing much there, boys. Alright. The insert. Who are we losing to the gum? Ryan Sandberg. Ugh. See, you can see the ripples and the gum print in that card. Gum tends to ruin some of the best ones. I've opened some of these packs and had a Bo Jackson Future Stars with gum stuck to the back of it, and Barry Bonds and Curdy, Gary Redis, Dennis Lamp, Gutierrez, Jeff Rodon, Quindo, Larry Sheets, Al Nipper, Smith, Stan Javier, Dave Johnson, Herzog, and Bob Boone. The 87 Topps, you usually see, if you're lucky, one of the Bo Future Stars cards, one of the Mark McGwire rookies, and one of the Barry Bonds. I have seldom opened a box, which I've opened hundreds of these boxes. Dave Schmidt on the gum card, and seen more than one of each in a box. Oh, there's one of the ones we're looking for right there. Canseco, terribly off center. That's his Gold Cup card. It's his second year. His rookie year was 86. Centering is nice on the back. Edges are clean. Corners are clean. Just the centering on the front. Right to left. Probably like a 70-30 right there. That wouldn't do so good at PSA. Spike Owen, Andres Galarraga, Meacham, Stoddard, Romine, Tony Pena, Bob Force, Ursulak, Dave Collins, George Brett. Another one that's off-centered. Oh, Goose Gossage. That was his nickname for any of you guys that are new to collecting. Rich Gossage's nickname was Goose. There's a Jose Uribe. We gave one of his autographed jerseys away on my live show on Whatnot about a week ago. And Nunez on the gum card. Let's see, Bobby Thigpen. Bill Shearer, Brantley, Guzman, Mark Salas, checklist. Dwight Lowry, Marty Barrett. Oop. Fumble. Alex Trevino. Gilkerson, Kipper, Sabera. We're going to go over the more famous and popular players and their cards. There's a lot of errors in these. A lot of misprints. like the Barry Bonds. It's not so much an error as it is a misprint because it's on every card. It's the back of it, the card number on the back of Barry Bonds' card. Oh, I thought we had one right there. It was Danny Chartable. The card number is 320, I believe. And the 3 is missing half the ink, so you only get half of the 3 on that one. Steve Carlton, Downing, Templeton, Otis Nixon. He was 105 from the day he was born. Kent Herbeck, Danny Chartable on the Gold Cup. Ron Shepard, Mike Diaz, Mike Brown, Steve Balboni, Carl Best, Scott Fletcher, Bob Stanley, McCaskill, and Jesse Barfield. Let's see if we can track down this Bonds or McGuire. I really want the Bo Jackson Future Stars. There's one here somewhere autographed. Wrong Jackson. Roy Lee Jackson. Ed Carrera, Jerry Reed, Frank Pastore, Rick Roden, Bill Madlock, Roy Lee Jackson, Heap, Brooke Jacoby. I've been in many arguments whether it's Brooks Jacoby or Brooke Jacoby, and they just spelled it wrong. The world may never know. Pete Rose on a manager card. Eddie Whitson, Lou Piniella, R.I.P. Pete. We lost him earlier this year. A lot of people don't like him because he bet on baseball, but I feel like he could have done a whole lot worse in life. He never bet against his team, from what I understand, so I don't think that was enough to keep him out of the Hall of Fame or out of baseball. But, hey, there we go. Now this one's a little bit of a rare find. It's off-centered, so it wouldn't grade well, but the majority of the Barry Bonds cards from this year have a black streak right here on the print. You don't find them too often without that black streak there. And then we'll get to the misprint on the back where it's missing part of the 3. Like I said, that's on all of them, so it's not really an error. It's more of a misprint than an error. I'm going to put some respect on Barry and put him in the top loader. Set him back there. Wade Boggs, All-Star. It's crazy. I've been collecting for 31 years, and I don't have the entire set put together, but I'm trying to put an entire set of these All-Stars together. 10s, whether it be SGC or PSA, whichever I decide to go with. Who, mind you, are owned by the same parent company, but people tend to like more one than the other. There's a nice Pete Rose card. Tommy Lasorda there on the end for the Dodgers. All right, we got Barry out of the way. Let me get a bow and a mark. What we got on the gum card here? Ugh. Jerry Reese. And a can Jerry. And Bobby Valentine, Tim Tuffle, T. Mahler, Ron Robinson, Bill Russell, Paul Molitor, Wolfong, Stewart, Hubbard, Carlton Fisk, Reed, Ojeda, Lou Whitaker, Tom Hung, and Dave Righetti on the All-Star. I've had quite a few of these signed by Roger Clemens. He has an All-Star card in here as well as a base card. I think he may have 3 cards in this series. I've had 2 of them signed, I know for sure. Ozzie Virgil, Lance Parrish, Willis, Morgan, Petrie, Welch, Bosley, Bo Diaz, Spear, Dave Anderson, Franklin Stubbs, Chuck Gary, Joel. All right, nothing there. Yeah, but Roger, he's another player with controversy around him. Of course, the steroid allegations. I don't think that there was ever proven. It was just allegations. But, I've met him a couple times. Very, very nice guy. Very nice guy. Tony Gwynn. Huge hands. Huge hands. I'm a very large human being. I'm 6'9" and right around 400 pounds. And the first time I shook Roger's hand, I kind of took a step back like, whoa. It engulfed my hand. It's pretty crazy. I think he's about 6'3", 6'4". He probably goes 250 now that he's out of baseball. 250, 260. I think he was 240 when he played. There's a Roberto Clemente. Turn back the clock. Unfortunately, with gum stuck to it. Mark Isman, Rudy Law, Spike Owen, Andres Galarraga, Jeff Stone, Ron Kittle, Ennis Campbell, Rafael Ramirez, Andre Awesome Dawson, Rick Dempsey, Dale Murphy, Atlanta Braves legend. I'm a big Dale fan. I set him down here and put him in the sleeve momentarily. Dixon, CBAT, and Roger McDowell. Let me get these over here. Get our inserts and gum cards out of the way. Ooh, to the trash pile. Alright. Who we got? It's not Mark. Fergossi, Gary Ward, Dave Parker, Mark Langston, Andy Allenson on the Gold Cup, Greg Minton, Alfredo Griffin, Dave Stapleton, Sid Beam, Lonnie Smith. Oh, another Pete. That's another well-centered Pete, too. Really wish they would have reinstated him before he passed. I mean, you never know when we're going to lose someone like that. Like Ricky Henderson, he was on the... Oh, damn, Dave Lopez on the 86 record breaker gum card. Ricky Henderson was actually on the autograph signing list for the National this year in Chicago. And he passed away earlier this year. You never know when it's going to be somebody's time. I just wish we would have seen Pete at least get off the ban list before he passed. If not, you know, inducted into the Hall of Fame. Soft, Glenn Hoffman, Terry Hagora, Greg Nettles. He was a victim of an error card where they spelled his name wrong back in the day. It was Craig Nettles that they put on the card, not Greg. Sparky Anderson. Who's he with on this one? Detroit. I was a much bigger fan when he was with Atlanta. Two Oakland A's. Both of them the wrong Oakland A's. Cunningham. That's a hell of a last name. Tom Herr. Jose De Leon. Dave Stewart. There's Willie. Maury Willis. Wills, sorry. Mike Greenwell. Dolly Tudor. Dave Palmer. Jose Rijo. It's amazing how you'll get doubles of all the cards you don't want, but I couldn't open like a pack full of both future stars, maybe, you know. As I mentioned earlier, I have a show on Whatnot, and we have quite a few followers. We have guys come in every night telling stories and, you know, sharing their hits with us and stuff, and this, that, and the other. And we had a guy come in the other night, Roger Mason, Grub, who, the wrong future stars. I wonder if these guys ever watch these videos and they're like, well, thanks, man, screw you too. And I don't know how he's not in the Hall of Fame. I remember Fernando Valenzuela being a very good pitcher. But a guy opened, and this is a completely different sport, but he opened a pack of 1991-92 Upper Deck basketball, and the entire pack was full of Jordan holograms that go for, you know, decent money, graded well. Brett Butler on the gum card. But yeah, I have yet to run across anything like that. I've opened some modern product where I've gotten some hot boxes with, you know, more autographs than were supposed to be there. Dusty Baker. Look how young Dusty was. Now he's Dusty. Tim Raines, Ernie Witt, Brian Fisher, Dave Rigetti. Dusty, if you watch this, I'm sorry. It's all in good fun. Ozzy's signing at the National this year. I got a few cards I'll be taking up there to have him sign. But yeah, this is the actual first video for this channel. We're going to be doing a few videos a week, aiming more towards vintage stuff. I can't believe I'm calling 1987 baseball vintage, but we're gonna... Don Mattingly's All-Star. There we go. He's actually not in the Hall of Fame. I think he was just a popular player and not... I mean, he was good, but I don't know that his numbers are indicative of a Hall of Famer. Kirby Puckett. I feel like there should be a standard, like a set standard of numbers where you have to get to this point to be inducted, not just, you know, hey, he was a long-time Yankee and everybody liked him, which I have no problem with Don Mattingly whatsoever. I think he was a good baseball player, but Hall of Fame worthy? The Yankees fan would argue that to the death, obviously. Alright, Shelby, O'Hara, Duncan, Fielder, Jack Clark, Sally. Is that Daryl? That is Daryl. Oh, Daryl Strawberry. Eddie Milner, Dennis Lamp, Gutierrez. There's a Ryan Sandberg that's off centered and things as drunk as a prom date. Eddie Murray. His rookie card out of 1978 Topps just sold for over $30,000 at a PSA 10. Dave Winfield, another very good ball player. I am not perfect. Sometimes I will remember something wrong. Mark's definitely not in that picture. So if I screw up, feel free to educate me in the comments. Just don't be too hateful about it. That's the hobby these days has gotten ridiculous, man. It's hard to talk to anyone online about cards or the hobby at all without people slamming you. You can't ask questions anymore because people want to call you names and insult you and everything else if you don't know exactly what you're talking about, which nobody can know everything about something, you know. You can know most of it, but I've been doing this for 31 years and I'm still learning. It started out as a hobby aimed towards, you know, kids. That's why they put bubble gum and candy in these packs, and then now you got products that there's no way kids can afford them. You know, it's $30-something for a box of blaster, or a blaster box these days for baseball cards. Mike Young, Rob Deere. I miss the days where it was, you know, I feel like they should do maybe a cheaper product and do what they did back in the day, where you had like the displays at the stores, and you know, open boxes. You grab a couple packs, or $1 a piece. George Bell on the All-Star. And I feel like that would bring more people into the hobby. And it also, you know, my son, he's 4 years old. He's starting to take notice of my card collection, and he's getting interested in stuff, and he's starting to ask questions about sports and everything because of the cards. I mean, if you were to make them a little bit more affordable for everyone, I feel like it would grow the hobby more and bring more interest to sports. But oh, what do I know? Manny Lee, Bobby Witt, Bobby Witt Sr. for Texas, Tony La Russa, Kirk Gibson, Barry Larkin, another very good ball player. Acker, Thurman, Felsky, Lynn, Ernie Rowles, Larry, Steve Jeltz, Soto, Umis, Williams. So far, Mark and Bo have been elusive in this box. Ugh. Gold Cup card going in the trash thanks to the gum. Nature of the Beast, though. Tony Fernandez, Jim Gantier, Slayton, Pat Perry, Joe Cimbito, Hewlett, Power, Wally Backman, Maldonado, Mike Lear, Kerfield, Finley. Who's on the Padres? Oh, Mr. Hawkins on the mound. Pena and Vern Wool. We're running out of chances down here in the box. But Bo tends to be towards the bottom. Don Sutton and Ron Say are stuck together there on the gum. John Moses, Mulholland, Cruz, Rogers, Keith Hernandez on the All-Star. Sanderson, Thurman, Felsky, Riles, Jeltz, Soto, Larry Williams again for the 47th time. Uh-oh. Vladdy's going down in flames over there. The old Vlad Gold Cup. Alright, who we got here? Mark Portugal, and who's behind the gum? Ugh. Mike Moore. Alright. I can live with that. Steve Lyons. All-Star Gary Carter. Alright, Gary. Duddy, Olin. Juan Bonilla. Knight, Tolliver, Leon Durham, Greg Brock, Jerry Willard, Danny Gladden, Dave Palmer, and Jose Rijo. Heartbreaking. Tony Walker, checklist. Jeff Hernan, Frazier, Mr. Atherton, Greg Carl, Leach, Daryl Miller, Lopez, Mike Scott, Sososha, Mark Davis, Wade Boggs. There's a Red Sox legend. Put some respect on Wade. Linebacker will bury him. Mike Mason, Alan Ashby, and Ron Worthington. Wade Boggs has a card in 1990 Upper Deck. It's like an in motion card or something, I guess you would call it, where it's like frames of him. I think he's throwing a ball or fielding a ball. I can't remember. It's a cool card though. They do well at 10s. Another victim of the gum. Alright, Bob Walk, Hatcher, Mike Young, Woodard, Gary Carter, Steve Crawford. The thing is with these older sets like that, oh, there's another Barry, 2 in 1 box, and that one, damn, it's off center too. There's a Wade Boggs. It's another one without the black streak on the nameplate though. That's nice. But then you go print dot right there. Man, backs off a little bit. Alright, Wade Boggs. Let's go. I was babbling about something before I hit that Bonds, and I don't remember what it was. Oh, the issue with these sets from back in the 80s is like there's between 700 and 800 and some cards in these sets. So if you're looking for 3 or 4 specific cards, like it's nothing to go an entire box and not see them, unfortunately. Sososha, Mark Davis, there's another Wade Boggs. So I have been through many a box where there was no Mark McGwire and no Bo Jackson or Barry Bonds or Jose Canseco. We haven't seen a Nolan Ryan yet either. Ugh. Mark Portugal. Ugh. Dave Bergman. Lost both of them to the gum. Steve Lyons. Alright. Butch Weigard. Joe Carter. Wilson. Henke. Ken Strom. That's a thick card. Reggie Jackson. There we go. Here's the Angels. Longtime Yankee. World Series hero. Reggie. See him in a couple weeks at the National. Hawkins. Joel Youngblood. Brookins. Terry Franconia. Oh, my gum card. We only lost 1 card to the gum that time. Ricky Horton. Alright, John Steffero. Ernie Camacho. Gary Gaetti. Mitch Ayers, one of the Roger Clemens cards I was talking about. That's his All-Star card. I have one of those signed by the man. Alright, Scott McGregor, Rick Honeycutt, Rick Horton, Conroy, Boros, Steve Sveum, Pedro Guerrero, Mark Clear. I was actually 3 years old when these cards came out. Been around for a week or two. They are in much better shape than I am. Alright, John Russell, Clint Hurdle, Lance McCullers, Ted Simmons, Omar Moreno, Steve Garvey, Andy Van Slyke, Clutterbuck, Sutter, Jeff Russell, Mike Heath, Rich Gedman, Goyo, and Ken Phelps. Alright, we're running out of option here, boys. We got, counting this pack, 5 left. Lugo, Rick Burleson, Rupert Jones, Don Baylor, Hesketh, Salazar, Rasheed Sullivan, Allen, Sierra, Bill Madlock, Jackson, Scarlets, Will Clark, and another Cal Ripken. We'll count down here for a sleeve in a minute. Joe Necro. Rick Manning and Tony Bernzard on the gum cards there. Alright, Tracy Jones, Sean Raleigh, Corey Snyder, Domingo Ramos, Dwayne Ward. Blue Jays, Jay Howe, Daryl Boston, Howard Johnson. Not to be confused with the hotel. Tom O'Malley, and there's Joe. DePino, Frank DePino on the gum card. Ooh. Willie Upshaw, Rick Aguilera, Quinones, Essler, Leyland, Vance Law, Leonard, Line. Is that another Leonard? Ove, Trulio, Terry Kennedy, Dave Winfield. Again. Come on, Bo. Just be in here. One time for the boys. Domingo Ramos, yep. Corey Snyder. Alright, we got John Russell, Clint Hurdle, Lance McCullers, Ted Simmons, Omar Moreno, Steve Garvey, Andy Van Slyke, Clutterbuck. We've seen this print run, huh? Vino, Riley, and Corey Snyder on the Gold Cup. I'm going to clear up some more real estate from these inserts. Oh, this is the last pack, boys. Storm Davis. Pulled a Storm Davis out of 92 the other day with the gold nameplate. Orioles. Deshays. Tony Gwynn on the All-Star. Lanford. Henry Johnson. Oh, John Henry Johnson. That's a haircut right there, boys. Tony Armas. Vince Coleman. Thompson, Tabler, Mickey Tettleton, Forrester, Dwight Evans, Slayton, Lady, and Bamberger, sorry. I also said Baumgartner. All right, well, that goes to prove my point that you don't always hit what you're looking for, unfortunately. The Bo Jackson Future Stars, in case you're wondering. Looks like that. The Mark McGwire, I don't believe I have sitting here right now. I think I failed you. I will try to edit a picture of the Mark McGwire and the Nolan Ryan into the end of the video so that you guys can see what they look like if you haven't seen them before. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you guys who made it through the whole video. Keep collecting, keep learning, keep having fun, and above all, just be nice.